Things are starting to get wild out west, so let's get out and run. Starting with the red-hot Denver Nuggets, who've won 9 in a row, their last 7 by double digits. Jamal Murray now averaging a career high. Bob, is this the team that no one wants to see in the playoffs?
Yeah, it is, because I'll tell you what, LeBron James used to do it. He still can somewhat do it, but Nikola Jokic right there, he can get you a good shot, Malika, every possession down, either for himself or for a teammate, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Second best offense in the league. It's really about their defense as well, but they're playing fantastic basketball.
Well, Denver will go for their 10th straight game against the Lakers, or 10th straight win tomorrow on ABC. That's where LeBron will be coming off his second 40-point game at the age of 40. Perk, are the Lakers, as a fellow 40-year-old, the team most primed to pull off an upset in the West?
Absolutely. Anytime you have LeBron James and a Luka Doncic on the same roster, two high IQ guys, you definitely don't want to see them in a 7-game series. And now you add in a third option guy who's been playing at an all-star level of late in Austin Reeves. JJ Redick really got this team clicking on all cylinders.
LeBron, an all-time great. Let's check in on another all-time great, and Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, who fell to 1-7 in February after a loss to the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama. Stephen A., are you ready to say the sun has officially set on this big three?
Yes, I have. And it's shocking that I get to say that. Let's face reality. Kevin Durant wants to stay in Phoenix because he must love Arizona. He must have a nice crib out there. It can't be because of basketball. Not the basketball team I was watching last night. Lose to the San Antonio Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, okay? That's what I saw last night. Kevin Durant is shooting 53% from the field, 40% from three-point range, averaging 27 a game. Book is giving you 26 a night on 45% shooting. Beal is shooting 49%, averaging 17 points, and this team is 3 games under 500, being coached by a guy in Budenholzer that for 5 years in Milwaukee, the man won 271 and 120. That's 70% wins. And somehow, some way, they're losing like this. They're 3 games under 500. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know whether it's one of them coyotes Mike Wilbon be messing around with or whatever that sent their way. Something wrong. I don't know what the hell is up with Phoenix. I think the sun is definitely set. Damn it, I would make the argument it's never shined. It's never shined this year. So guess what? I mean, go ahead and do what you got to do. But
good.
if I'm Kevin Durant, yeah, it's time to move on. He's too great to be there under those situations. Kevin Durant, 3 games under 500? Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Should we look at the Western Conference as a bigger picture? Or should we stay here for a second?
No, I mean, there's nothing to say.
All right.
He said it eloquently, and he said it that was good. The sun's never shined.
The sun's never shined was good. All right, so let's talk about the Wolves and the Rockets then. Let's talk about the Wolves and the Rockets, because the good news for everybody out west is there's still time, 2 months left in the season, for teams to sort of make significant moves up and down the standings. But if you were to look at these 2 teams here, Perk, who do you have more confidence in making a deep push here, the Rockets or Minnesota?
Well, damn sure ain't Minnesota.
Okay.
Right, Anthony Edwards, I got trust in him, but I don't trust the other ones. Like I told you earlier today on NBA Today, we know that Anthony Edwards could drive the car over the bridge. We just trying to see if the others could pay the toll. I don't believe it.
You like who do you like winning the series?
I like the Rockets.
Easy.
I like the Rockets because the one thing about the Rockets, yes, they struggle at times shooting the 3 ball, but the one thing, they have an identity on the defensive side of things, and they also have the personnel to defend at a high level. And I get it. People are going to say, oh, they don't have the best player. But they do have an NBA champion that's leading the charge in Fred VanVleet that you know so well about, Bob.
Oh, my gosh.
He broke up your hot
You know what? I think Kawhi
So,
was
again,
there.
I'm going with the Rockets as far as being the most dangerous out of these 2.
The Rockets are 2-7 in their last 9 games. Their offense has started to struggle quite a bit here, Bob.
Yeah, I'm just still processing.
You're reeling?
Fred VanVleet was the reason.
No, he was part of it.
That's new information. Look, I do like the Rockets' defense. I do believe it's real. And Ime Udoka and the identity that he's put on that team is real. And he's got a lot of young players committed to playing defense. I do really worry about their offense. And Anthony Edwards, I expected more from Minnesota than they've given this year. Randall's been out. I thought DiVincenzo, he's been hurt a lot, would help him more. If those guys are back, it does matter for the playoffs. But I do think Anthony Edwards can get you a playoff series. I do think he can do it.
Right.
If he doesn't, I'd be disappointed because I expect that much of him. I still think he's one of the best 5 players in the league.
I'm very disappointed in Kendrick Perkins' response. I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves as the answer to this question. I love Houston's upside, their potential, and Ime Udoka. But, excuse me, they don't have Anthony Edwards, who, by the way, just the last time he faced him, he dropped 41 on them. Just a reminder. Just a reminder of the kind of stuff that he's going to do. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint that come playoff time, there are no secrets. And in the end, it comes down, Mr. Champion, you know this, it comes down to, here's the ball. Take me there.
Right.
What you going to do about it? That's the one dude Anthony Edwards in a series like that, Houston, Minnesota, we're talking about here. That I'm going to have my faith in Anthony Edwards before I have. And by the way, Minnesota, you bring it up the defense. Houston, they haven't done it. Minnesota's not chopped liver. They rank like fourth.
They're right up there. They're
right up there.
They're sixth. Yeah.
Talk about.
I don't know what he's talking.
I think Anthony Edwards would be the first to admit that maybe this season hasn't gone exactly the way that he hoped, but he's hoping that there's still enough time to be able to turn this around. What y'all doing tomorrow night?
Time. To me, he's the best player in the East. And on the flip side, us, like I said, it's been a roller coaster, but the love that Julius and Dante brings to the team, the love for their teammates, and everything that they bring on the floor, man, that's why it's super exciting for us to get them back, because we miss them out there.
Best player in the East.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Karl Anthony Towns certainly played like one of the best players in the East, at least lately. In his first 50 games with the Knicks, Towns has put up 1,244 points and 675 rebounds. The last time a player had those totals in his first 50 games with the franchise, it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the Lakers in the 1970s. Oh, and Kareem won MVP that season. So I think it's safe to say the Knicks big man is ballin', which means this is the perfect time, Perk, for a little big man ballin' segment.
Absolutely, and he's been balling, Malika. I have him top 5 in the MVP conversation right now. The big bodegas, what they call them, but he's been doing his thing. And look, roll this clip. It's only a handful of bigs in the league that could do this. First, he's cleaning the glass like a fresh bottle of Windex. And then check this out. Initiating the offense, pushing up the peel, fakes the dribble handoff. Watch how crafty Karl Anthony Towns is. Yes, we know he's known for his low post work and his shooting, but his ability to take off the dribble doesn't get enough credit in what he brings to the table. Then we looking at Evan Mobley here, right? First time All-Star. Yes, Kenny Atkinson has unlocked a different version of him, but the question was, can these two guys play together? And the answer has been yes so far this season. I love this big-to-big passing. I made a living off of this playing alongside Kevin Garnett with the dunk-offs, but that's the beauty of Evan Mobley. Not only can he stretch the floor, but he loves to play that dunker spot as well.
Yeah, and when you look at all of this, the Cavaliers, they've seen a massive jump on the offensive end when Mobley and Allen both share the floor this season when you compare it to last season in particular. In fact, no other duo has had a better efficiency, a better net efficiency in the Eastern Conference, Perk. So Karl Anthony Towns, he is going to have his hands full tonight. What is the stank face there, Stephen A?
Did that man say he was skinny?
Who?
You.
Yeah, he looks good. I think he looks svelte.
I look good.
Svelte.
I think he looks
I
svelte.
think you look great.
Really.
Svelte.
Just not skinny.
Whatever.
Well, since
That's
we're
what you got
talking
from that beautiful breakdown?
We're talking about big men here, Perk. Stephen A, is this game going to come down to who wins the battle of the bigs?
Me personally, I think so. I think that when you look at how formidable Mobley and Allen are and what they bring to the table and how Atkinson has utilized them, I don't think you can ignore that. I don't think you can ignore the fact that that's not the Knicks' strength on the defensive side of the floor. Karl Anthony Towns, the reason what makes him so effective is how explosive he is offensively, because he's the best shooting big man in basketball. Nobody can shoot as a big man. There's no better shooter in basketball than Karl Anthony Towns. We all know that. So because of that, that makes him formidable, because you got to come out and get him, and then he's quick enough and skilled enough to get by you, particularly if you're big guarding him. But defensively, it's still a problem, particularly when you don't have that much help. And the way Mobley and Allen have been utilized, and now you've added Hunter to the mix, I definitely think bigs on Cleveland's side of the ball is going to be a problem for New York tonight.
I just think this is a bad matchup for the Knicks. I really do. You got the best offensive team in the league in Cleveland. You got the 17th best. I keep saying it because it matters with the Knicks. And not only that, the Cavs are the best three-point shooting team in the league. The Knicks are the worst three-point defensive percentage-wise for three in the league. You say Stephen A. styles make fights. This is just not a good look for the Knicks. This is almost something where you just look at that, and these aren't exaggerations. This is the best versus the worst, and that's going to be a problem. And that's what I'm going to watch in this game tonight. I'm going to see, can the Knicks slow the Cavs down, make them take tough threes, contest on some of these shots, because the Cavs have made a living through 55 games of playing the way they want to play. Can the Knicks make them a little uncomfortable? I think that's pretty the key to this game tonight.
Well, again, that's why they need Mitchell Robinson. When you talk about Mitchell Robinson, not only does he anchor and is a great shot blocker, but he allows the guards to be aggressive on the perimeter. When you have a guy like that protecting the paint, guys able to gamble and do a little bit more on the perimeter, the Knicks defense will get better as far as the three-point line when he gets back. But I'm looking at these two bigs to battle. Mobley and Karl Anthony Towns, both coming off of back-to-backs. Both probably got in late. Let's see if they got the juice and the energy.
Then they've given this year.
Tonight.
Randall's been out. I thought DiVincenzo, he's been hurt a lot, would help him more. If those guys are back, it does matter for the playoffs. But I do think Anthony Edwards can get you a playoff series. I do think he can do it.
Right.
If he doesn't, I'd be disappointed because I expect that much of him. I still think he's one of the best 5 players in the league.
I'm very disappointed in Kendrick Perkins' response. I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves as the answer to this question. I love Houston's upside, their potential, and Ime Udoka. But, excuse me, they don't have Anthony Edwards, who, by the way, just the last time he faced him, he dropped 41 on them. Just a reminder. Just a reminder of the kind of stuff that he's going to do. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint that come playoff time, there are no secrets. And in the end, it comes down, Mr. Champion, you know this. It comes down to, here's the ball. Take me there.
Right.
What you going to do?
The Western Conference is heating up, and things are reaching a boiling point as teams jostle for position. Let's start with the red-hot Denver Nuggets, who have now rattled off 9 straight wins, their last 7 coming by double digits. Leading the charge is Jamal Murray, playing the best basketball of his career, averaging a career high in points. The question now, is this a team that no one wants to see in the playoffs? The answer is a resounding yes. Nikola Jokic is operating at an all-time level, orchestrating the offense with surgical precision. He's become the kind of player who guarantees a good shot every trip down the floor, whether for himself or for a teammate. That's what makes this Nuggets squad so dangerous. They own the second-best offense in the league, but their defense has been equally critical to their success. They're playing fantastic basketball, and tomorrow they'll look to stretch that streak to 10 against none other than LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers on ABC. LeBron, who just notched his second 40-point game at the age of 40, remains as dominant as ever. But are the Lakers, as a veteran squad, the team best positioned to pull off an upset in the Western Conference? Absolutely. Anytime you have LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the same roster, 2 of the highest basketball IQ players in the league, you're automatically a threat. Now add in a third option in Austin Reeves, who's been playing at an all-star level as of late, and you have a team no one wants to face in a 7-game series. Chemistry is clicking at the right time. While the Lakers and Nuggets are trending up, the same cannot be said for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant and his squad have spiraled, falling to 1-7 in February after a shocking loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Without Victor Wembanyama, the question is no longer if this team is struggling. The question is if the sun has officially set on this Big 3 experiment. And the answer? A resounding yes. Kevin Durant's loyalty to Phoenix must be rooted in a deep love for Arizona because it sure isn't about the basketball. He's shooting 53% from the field, 40% from 3, averaging 27 points per game. Devin Booker is giving you 26 a night on 45% shooting. Bradley Beal is adding 17 points per game on 49% shooting. Yet, somehow, this team sits 3 games under .500. And this is under the leadership of Mike Budenholzer, a coach who won 70% of his games in Milwaukee. The numbers don't add up. Something is off in Phoenix. It's not just that the sun has set. You could argue it never shined in the first place. If you're Kevin Durant, how much longer do you stick around for this? Zooming out to the broader Western Conference picture, the playoff race is still wide open with 2 months left in the season. But when it comes to teams looking to make a deep push, do you have more confidence in the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Houston Rockets? If you're asking Kendrick Perkins, the answer sure isn't Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is a superstar in the making, but the question remains, can supporting cast step up? Edwards can drive the car over the bridge, but are the others paying the toll? There's skepticism there. When it comes to winning a playoff series, Perk is rolling with the Rockets. They may struggle from beyond the arc at times, but what they do have is a defensive identity. Houston plays tough, physical basketball, and with NBA champion Fred VanVleet leading the charge, They are a team that could surprise people come playoff time. Still, the Rockets have lost 7 of their last 9, and their offense has started to sputter. Minnesota, on the other hand, boasts one of the league's elite defensive units and has a legitimate superstar in Anthony Edwards. When the playoffs arrive, all the excess and OS go out the window, and it becomes about matchups and individual dominance. In a 7-game series between these two teams, the best player on the floor would be Anthony Edwards, and that's the ultimate trump card. Just ask Houston. The last time he faced them, he dropped 41. Shifting to the Eastern Conference, we need to talk about Karl-Anthony Towns. In his first 50 games with the New York Knicks, Towns has put up historic numbers: 1,244 points and 675 rebounds. The kind of stat line we haven't seen since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 1970s. And oh, by the way, Kareem won MVP that season. So yes, Towns is balling. In fact, he's playing at an MVP level, ranking in the top 5 of the race according to Perk. Towns is not just dominating the paint. He's initiating offense, pushing the ball up the floor, and showing a level of versatility few big men possess. And then there's Evan Mobley in Cleveland. The first-time All-Star has been unlocked under Kenny Atkinson's system, proving that he and Jared Allen can thrive together. Their chemistry has taken the Cavaliers to new heights, particularly on the offensive end, where they have the best net efficiency in the Eastern Conference when sharing the floor. So when the Knicks and Cavs face off, does this game come down to the battle of the big men? Absolutely. Towns is the best shooting big man in basketball, but Cleveland's front court is dominant in its own right, with Allen and Mobley controlling the paint and the Cavs boasting the best three-point shooting team in the league. This is a bad matchup for New York. The Knicks struggle defending the perimeter, ranking last in opponent three-point percentage. The numbers don't lie. This is the best versus the worst in a crucial category, and that could be the difference tonight. As the season enters its final stretch, every game matters. The West is still wide open, and the East is as competitive as ever. The stars are shining, the rivalries are heating up, and the playoff race is officially in overdrive. Buckle up, because the NBA is only getting crazier from here.